if you're a woman of color and you're a sex educator, where can you go to get support? This is Jimanekia Eborn from facebook.com/Jimmy, Jimmy, Eborn, Eborn. And I'm Cathy from theintimacydojo.com. Thanks so much for sharing. I was just introduced to WOCSHN a year ago, and I love you were talking about how they've really helped you.
WOCSHN.org.
Okay.
Let me spell it for you because I sometimes spell it wrong. So it's WOCSHN.org.
Mm-hmm.
I found out about WOCSHN this summer when I was at Sex Geek Summer Camp.
Yeah.
And I met one of the amazing women in it. Well, I met two. But Ida sat me down and was like, this is what we do, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, there's an entire group of people that work in sex that are women of color and that get it.
Yeah.
And it was like a breath of fresh air because it's hard being a woman of color in general in different areas, especially when you're working in sexual health. And you take a step back, most of the people that do work in sexual health don't look like me.
No.
So they don't look like me, which isn't saying that, they aren't trying to include people. But right now, they don't look like me. So finding a group of women that do was amazing, and I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah, I think it's so important to have more visibility and role models, and because if you're working with someone, that's one reason, as a person of size, I feel like I need to get my voice out there, because there's so many women that are bigger that don't have any, if everyone up there is a size 2, there's no role models for bigger people being sexual. And if everybody is pasty white, then we're missing so much depth and perspective on this. And I really appreciate that you're out there sharing and making a difference in the world.
It's really cool to be able to be invited to certain spaces. Hopefully it's not just because I'm a woman of color, but because I'm a woman of depth. And I have something to provide. It does, help the future, I think. Mm-hmm. And even looking into WOCSHN, I see women that live all over the world that are in all areas. And it's amazing. And to see the work that they're doing and to seeing them pushing through the different conferences. Yeah. And getting on the boards of these conferences and presenting and winning awards. It's very inspiring. Mm-hmm. It's very inspiring.
Yeah, no, and it's I really am grateful too, because I've always wanted to make sure that different perspectives are involved. And if women of color don't know to go to the conferences, or there's no way for us to find sex educators, it's been sometimes challenging and I don't want to just pick somebody. Like you said, you don't want to just choose someone, because you have the bright color skin. You want someone who has the perspective to add to the conference or the talk you're proposing. And I just really love that you have, is it WOCSHN? I've heard it's pronounced WOCSHN and WOCSHN, but there's the bios right there.
As far as I know, it's WOCSHN.
Okay. Tomato. I don't know.
I pronounce things wrong sometimes, but Women of Color Sexual Health Network.
Yeah.
That's easy to Google.
Yeah. No, and I encourage people to take a look, because the bios are right. People's bios are right there. Yeah. And you can you talk about this. Can we, see if we have an overlap on something we'd like to do together?
I love the directory. You can find people in all areas. You have their contact information, and if they're not, if you don't see someone in your area, reach out, and there's always someone somewhere that knows someone that can help you out. So it's a great resource, definitely, to helping women of color, to just helping sex ed.
Yeah. No, it's so important that we have the voices of everyone in this, because each individual person has different experiences, and then culturally we have different experiences in this, and when we look together we have so much more a 3D model of what's actually happening, rather than this kind of 2D model of what we think should happen. And we can help more people, and I'd love to live in a world where everyone can be sex positive and decide what's right for them and have their words so they can say yes or no. And so I really...
Hopefully that's where we're going. Hopefully.
Well,
Fingers
I
crossed.
know you're doing everything you can, and I really appreciate you being a voice for this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I really hope that there's more people that find themselves in this as well. Sexual health is something that we all need, and it's a growing field, and I hope other women of color, any shade of color that you are, find what they're looking for, find their passion, and if they need help, reach out to WOCSHN. It's amazing. It's a great resource.
Are you in the directory?
I am in the directory.
Wonderful.
Yay.
Wonderful.
I feel really official.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you for doing that. If you have questions, please leave comments below, and then we'll leave the link for WOCSHN down below too, so that you can check it out, because it's a great resource. Thanks very much, Jimanekia.
No problem.